Hello. Hey guys.
Hello. To all podcast listeners, welcome to. We don't do our intro song anymore.
We don't. We can add it back in.
It's not great.
The intro song?
Yeah, it was only my first try using the thing. I'm sure I
I
could do
like
it
it.
better. It's
You want to
the
make it up?
timing when it's weird. I didn't spend enough time on it.
Hmm.
Um,
Excuse me.
yeah, I noticed we stopped doing that. I guess once we switched to Riverside.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, I think because like when it's not. Maybe it's there and I just don't see it, or I have to go somewhere else to see it. But I don't see the clip, so I don't think to add it, or wasn't thinking to add it.
I don't even
I
fucking know
forgot
how to
about it
use
for a while.
Riverside. That's why I have. What's it called? What's my podcast?
Huh?
That's why my podcast has been on a hiatus. I don't know how to fucking. I don't know what to do with this stupid app.
What do you mean? Do you record on your phone? Is there a phone app that you don't know how to work?
Yeah, I record on my phone.
Oh,
Why would I not
I
record?
don't know
That's
what the
that's
phone
what.
app looks like.
Kid gave me this at
Wow,
school.
that looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a Galaxy Eyes Taekyon Dragon. I didn't even know that was a
Oh,
thing.
it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's dope.
Yeah, I remember Blue Eyes White Dragon. He kind of
It's hard to see. It's
he
choppy.
kind of moves. It doesn't really move too much in the camera though.
Yeah,
But like, there's like depth to it if you see it IRL, which is kind of cool.
yeah, that's cool.
Um, it's holographic and stuff. Um, why are we here?
We watched more things,
Yeah,
so we have more things to discuss as it goes.
that's what we do. That's what
Yeah,
you guys are here
I
for.
think I got bit on my foot. Um,
Sorry.
it's okay. You didn't do it. Uh, we watched. We finished Lord of the Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power, season 2, season 1 and 2 for me. I watched them one after the other. And we watched just now. We watched Deadpool and Wolverine, which was a movie.
We've seen a show and we've seen a movie. Uh,
Yeah. What do you want? Which one do you want to talk about first?
there were other things that we watched. We can't remember what we watched, but there was like a whole thing that we watched that we didn't talk about.
I don't know what I don't know what this secret thing that we watched
It's not
is.
secret. We just don't remember.
It's a secret to me.
I remembered when I was at work the other day.
You remember the actual piece of like what it was called?
Yeah, and I was like, dang, we never talked about that, huh? Then by the
And
time
I
I went
was
to talk to you about it, I didn't remember what it was anymore. I
no.
was like, oh shit, what was it? And yeah, it just hasn't been back since.
Bah, damn. You're probably right. We watch many things without realizing that we're watching many things.
Um, what was your question?
Which one are we talking about first?
We can talk about the freshest one.
Sure.
Freshest in terms of fresh in the mind, recently watched, not fresh as in terms of like Rotten Tomatoes score.
Right. Um.
Urban slang.
Huh?
Or urban slang.
Mm. Um. Yeah, I had heard that this movie was like kind of alright, kind of funny from people that I think are cool. So I was like, I'll check it out. I wanted to watch something that was funny. And I knew it wouldn't be great, but like maybe it wouldn't be bad, you know? It'd be like a middle of the line enjoyment experience. Um it wasn't it was a long movie. Um there were some things that made me like chuckle here and there. Um but I don't really like Deadpool movies at least. And so that didn't really like the whole thing that is Deadpool movies, like the that shtick, I don't enjoy. Um,
What
which
shtick?
is like fourth wall and vulgar and um,
You enjoy fourth wall breaks.
not so intensely, not so like, and maybe because of who it's coming from as well. Uh, like shut the fuck up, Marvel. Like breaking the fourth wall, but then you still have the audacity to put those stupid fucking lights in the back of that one shot. Like, you're still corny. It's still corny. um, like it's like making fun of itself, but what lampshade? It's like the ultimate lampshading or whatever. Um, but because it's the whole thing, it's not just like here and there or a part. It feels like most of the thing. Um, or maybe it's like 60-40, 70-30. I don't know.
I
Uh,
enjoy fourth wall breaks. It's a big reason why Deadpool was one of my favorites. When I was
sure.
like when I was a teen, I grew up Spider Man was my favorite.
Love Spider-Man.
But in my quest to, be different and unique and not, follow in my exploration of the world,
Mm-hmm.
I discovered Deadpool and I was like, oh, I like this guy. He's cool. I think he's my guy. I read some comics, not a lot. I was never really a big comic book reader.
Yeah.
Um, but it was cool, as a kid being into, kids like being different. So it was cool to like, where everyone was saying their favorite superhero was like Spider Man or maybe Hulk or like Superman or Batman. No one knew Iron Man back then. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it was cool to be like, well, mine's Deadpool. It's like, you guys don't even know who Deadpool is, but like, I like Deadpool.
Sure.
Um, and then the movies came out, and at that time, of course, still trying to go against like what's popular, which isn't something I really care too much about these days. But I was very much like, oh, everybody likes Deadpool now. It's kind of lame. Like, he's in mainstream now. What the heck? Like, no, not Deadpool. Um, and also, like I was saying when we were watching, I don't really like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I.
I don't really have a good reason for that. I'm just not a fan. I just don't like his work.
Yeah, it just don't. Just doesn't do anything. So,
Yeah. So that was kind of like a double whammy when the first Deadpool movie came out. I was like, oh, everyone likes Deadpool now, and also Deadpool's Ryan Reynolds. So,
Yeah.
kind of lame. Um, Deadpool's had different portrayals in the past, not in movies, but like in video games. The voice of Nathan Drake from Uncharted, I believe, did Deadpool in his game. Um, but yeah, a lot of his charm is like the witty irony, the sarcasm, the fourth wall breaking, and that was very much my juice, my sauce. You know, it was very much into that kind of stuff. So I don't have anything against that, but I do agree with what you were saying in terms of like the meta narrative to it, because it's like, yeah, you're being
Yeah.
meta, you're breaking the fourth wall, but still within the confines of the thing. Like you're acting
Right.
out, but you're still at the Disney park.
Right. Like
You're not really gonna do anything that they won't
you're
sanction,
not really gonna do anything. Like yeah,
which
that's it.
is a something I think a lot about with fourth wall breaks, because it's like when you really think about it, is there ever really a true fourth wall break? Like, yes, a character can
Mm-hmm.
address the audience, but a certain aspect of the fourth wall break is like this kind of autonomy almost.
Hmm.
It's like you're breaking free from the the structure. You're breaking the fourth wall. It's I'm sure you know where the term comes from, but I'll explain for folks who don't. Um,
Sure.
in a traditional like filming structure, there are three walls, and the fourth wall, of course, is where the audience is. Wall, and then fourth wall. So directly addressing the audience is breaking that fourth wall. So it's like it's departing from the structure of the content, but it's like, is that ever really possible? Because that's written into the script. Can you truly break the fourth wall? Um, which is something that I've been kind of thinking about recently. But I saw it in this movie where it's kind of like, yeah, but you can make jokes about Hugh Jackman doing Wolverine until he's 100, but I don't know. I don't know. I thought did some of it good. A fair amount of it was funny. There were jokes I liked. There were beats I liked. Um,
Mm.
the Blade joke is funny. I particularly
Sure.
like that one because it can be taken either way. Because they've been making the Blade movie for like forever at this point. So him saying, I'm the only Blade, there's only going to be one Blade, and he looks at the camera.
Mm.
I can
Mm-hmm.
either be saying, you think that, but there's already another Blade, or he can be looking at the
Right.
audience and saying, because that movie's never coming out. Which,
Mm-hmm.
it's clever, and it can be clever, and I enjoy that. Um, we talked about how we've both seen the first Deadpool movie. Uh, neither of us have seen the second. I
Nope.
don't know why we skipped that one. Um,
Because I literally only watched this one because people were talking about it. But I saw the first one and I was like, I'm off him. I don't need any more of that.
I haven't seen the first one in a while. I think I've only seen it like twice, maybe thrice. Cause
That's many times.
yeah, and a way of like, I forgot. I like, oh, I haven't seen Deadpool. I should probably watch it. And it's like, oh yeah, I have seen Deadpool. Um,
Gotcha.
but I feel like I don't remember because it's been a while since I've seen it. But I feel like in this one, I enjoyed the way Deadpool was characterized a little better. Outside of like his home life with his family and stuff, I found that dreadfully uninteresting. But in costume, not seeing Ryan Reynolds' face, and the antics he gets up to. I'm like, yeah, this is Deadpool. This is good.
Hmm.
This is, a lot of the, the asides, the way he just won't fucking shut up, and he's always making jokes about everything, and it's kind of meta. That I feel like that was true to form there, and I'm not big into the comic books, so
I feel like I gotta read one of the comics or something to get like an accurate taste of Deadpool. Maybe I just don't like Deadpool.
it's possible.
I might just not like it.
And what is
Right.
accuracy? I don't know. It's all fiction.
Original content, original form or whatever.
Mm,
Original intent.
I suppose. I suppose.
Yeah.
Um, but as we get further into these movies and different people, I don't know if they have the same original writer for the Deadpool comics. And comics make different changes to characters and stuff all the time. There's like different.
Yeah.
That's why we get into like multiverse and all that.
Yeah.
Um, the multiverse doesn't suck.
No.
The Marvel multiverse sucks.
Yeah.
Um, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Perfection.
So good.
Spider Verse.
So good.
Perfection. The multiverse. I understand why they said that because there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Um, it's oversaturated right now.
Yeah.
But when isn't Marvel oversaturated?
Right.
Um, so yeah, it's fun to point that out and make fun of the multiverse gimmick, because that's where our society is at this point, at least in media. But
Mm.
a lot of people are doing it well. It's just you guys are fumbling
Y'all
it.
just kind of suck at it. Like y'all can put that down for
And
leave
and,
it to other people.
and let's be fair, a lot of the well, that's more of a cinematic universe, less the multiverse thing. But a lot of the cinematic universes are fumbling. Um, but anyway,
Mm.
um, I thought the movie was okay. Thought it
How
was
would
alright.
you rate it?
Well, are we rating it already?
Do you have more to say? Do I have more to say? I don't. I don't. I didn't enjoy it.
Mm,
I don't want to just like shit on it. You know,
sure.
not my cup of tea. That's all.
If I had to rate it, I thought the action was nice, but largely, I don't want to say meaningless because there were meanings to the fights, but there were no stakes to them.
Mm-hmm.
None of these characters are gonna die. Even less so stakes in like other media where it's like, oh, this character can't die because it's the main character, but they are still mortal. Like they literally can't die. It's like
Right.
um, I I'm fine giving it maybe like a 7.
Well, I would give it probably about a 4.
Maybe a 6.
I don't remember the scale.
No, you never do. It's fine. Um,
I just go off how it feels. I
yeah.
guess.
4 for me. I don't know if this is the same for you because you did a different thing than I did.
But then we talked about it. I
Um,
did like a
4 is good bad.
oh
5 is lukewarm. 6 is bad good. I don't think it's bad good. I think 7 is like decent, fine. This is a good thing.
What is 5 again?
5 is lukewarm. You feel absolutely nothing for it. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just
Mm,
completely middle of the road.
see, 3 feels like mean and like too low, but like 4, I feel like 4 is just like particularly is reserved for very particular movies, and this doesn't fall into that.
Okay, so I look at it like this. All right, we have 5 is in the middle. You feel nothing.
Yeah.
Lukewarm. Bad, good, and good, bad. This is something that's like, it's good unless you look at it for too long, then you see all the cracks, and then this is like, this thing is bad, but I enjoy it anyway. So, those kind of go with each other. And then 7 is like something that is actually good. Like, this thing's good. I don't love it, but it is good. And then 3 is a thing that is the opposite. It's bad. It's like, I don't hate it, but I don't think this thing is good. And then 2 was like, this is horrible. And 1 is like, this is the worst thing ever. Same on the other side. 8 is like, this is fantastic. 9 is like, this is amazing. And then 10.
So maybe I would give it a 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad movie, but
Right.
I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, 6. Cool.
I think all the Deadpool movies sit in that same area for around a 6 or a 7. I think they're fun if you're into them. Like, there's nothing about them that's like egregious.
Yeah.
I just don't particularly love them.
No.
I can turn them on,
Sure.
But yeah.
Excuse me.
There was no way I was gonna like go see this in the theater or anything. Will I watch it again? Probably not. Deadpool and Wolverine. I like the mask. I hope they finally let Wolverine wear a mask.
Yeah. He looked nice.
It was it worked.
Yeah, I agree.
They should have let him be short.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been like, oh, I didn't see that in the trailer. That's cool.
Like, no way, they're really doing short Wolverine? That's so cool. Look at him. Look at him running around being all crazy. Even if they wanted to, I think it would have been more difficult because Hugh Jackman is not short. So, like, filming all of that, especially the action.
But, like, so much of it was already, like, I mean, I guess not so much of it, but a lot of it was, like, CGI and whatnot.
Sure.
So I feel like they could have.
Especially when she was in people's brains.
Yeah.
The budget seemed big.
Yeah.
It was fun when, in Deadpool 1, how he can joke up, like, it's fun him not being so mainline.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, we got these fucking C-tier ass characters in the story.
Yeah.
The A-listers.
It felt very different.
Yeah. And, like, they're gonna send him to the main timeline, whatever that is. And, like, oh, he's in Marvel now. But that still didn't happen.
Huh?
We didn't get any fucking Marvel character. Yeah. It didn't happen. I mean...
Yeah.
It's strange. We got, from the first Fantastic Four, we got, Johnny.
I'm excited for Fantastic Four.
So that was a nice twist. Thinking he was going to be like Captain America. Yeah. But it was just Johnny. Yeah. Excited for Fantastic Four.
I
sure.
miss... Maybe it's just nostalgia talking.
You remember that one that came out when we were kids?
Yeah, I was like, I miss watching that with my cousins. I think it's just nostalgia.
We are the superhero generation.
This is true. I'm interested to see. Huh?
At least in terms of movies.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how they do it. I kept I mean, I don't know how many times I said it, but I
Oh
definitely thought it
God.
multiple times. I miss Loki so much. This movie made me miss Loki so much.
Mm.
Um, the TV show,
Not the man.
good show. He's fine. He's whatever. I enjoyed him. Why'd you say, "Oh God"?
Um, I was following that thought of us being the superhero generation, and how that's why we're so fucking oversaturated with superhero movies, and how that means in like 20 to 30 years we're gonna have this huge nostalgia resurgence.
Or
Like, oh
superhero stuff.
yeah, like we're gonna get a bunch of superhero media. Like, oh, remember we used to watch this kind of stuff when we were kids. The superheroes, like, it's not going. It's gonna stay with us until we die. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, that's not. That is true.
I agree with Marcus. Superhero fatigue is it's not real because it's literally all we fucking have. But I thought about that when we were watching. I was like, why don't we watch different movies?
Mm.
Why are we watching this superhero bullshit? We could be watching
Well,
fucking Kirk or something. That's a random ass movie I pulled out of the side of my neck, but
we could and we will. I don't know, man. Yeah,
fucking
we have
watch
like
that.
a whole list of fucking like actually like good movies to watch. Not watching them. I don't know.
And I get it. We gotta watch. We gotta watch. All of it. The good and the bad, the superhero and the
Sure.
whatever. But it's kind of just like
Yeah. We gotta watch a good movie next. Good movie next.
there are three really good movies that you could watch.
Oh, it's too soon.
It's never too soon.
It's too soon. It hasn't even been a year.
What the hell does that mean?
I explained it over text. I don't think
You're
I've.
not.
I don't
You're
know
not
that
a
I've
true
been
nerd,
getting
is what
anything
I'm hearing.
more. I'm real. I'm. There's levels to this shit. I'm not on that level where I can just pick up Lord of the Rings whenever. I need to space it out.
Dun, 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 dun,
Speaking of shit, though, I finished Game of Thrones. I finished Game of Thrones.
You were watching it?
No, I finished the first book.
The book you finished a Game of Thrones. That's two different things. You finished a Game
I
of
finished
Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah,
How was that?
it was good. It's
That
kind
was the,
of
that was the wrong segue, by the way. But continue on.
yeah. Sorry to the segue, but
Completely derailed that shit. And that it was. I didn't do that segue on purpose. But
it
it would
was
have been
good.
a great segue.
Like, oh, this is a good segue. But then I gotta talk about the Game of Thrones.
Go ahead.
Um,
We'll table the segue.
um, it was good, but like because I've seen this show prior to reading the books. Well, it's two things. So one, it's an audiobook, which means as I'm listening, I know what's happening, but like I feel like the smaller details that people that have read the books that like really know the media really well, I'm not really picking up on or retaining. Um, and I think a part of that is because I've seen the show, I know the beats, and so I know like even if I space out for like 30 seconds or so, by the time I clock, I still know like what is happening simply because I've seen the show and my brain is kind of relying on that. Um, Also, like I don't have the some parts of it are still definitely like up to my imagination simply because I don't remember them from the show. But like I don't have the fun, the pleasure of
Imagining.
imagining. Yeah. Like Catelyn looks like Catelyn in my head. Arya looks like Arya. Um, so that's kind of like Uh, but it's still nice.
In the
It's
books, they
nice.
kind of look like caricatures of the shows. Them for me, I think because it's like a fantasy historical kind of piece. They feel like more like
Yeah.
angular and like medieval looking, like in a medieval drawing or
Mm,
something.
mm-hmm.
I don't see
Yeah, I
like
can see that.
I don't see fucking what's his name, Sean
Ned
Bean
art.
when I see Ned Stark
Mm-hmm.
when I'm reading the book anyway. I
Um,
see, like, he kind of looks like Sean Bean, but he's like
see, I
it's like
see Sean Bean. I think.
if I think of Ned Stark in my head, I see Sean Bean, but when I'm reading the book, it's a little different.
Sure. When they actually describe them, though, I will say like some characters look slightly different. Like what's his face definitely looks different. Tyrion, is that his name?
Yeah,
Uh, because he's described different. Um, and then I feel like Tywin is different in my brain. There's like a few characters that are maybe slightly different, but still all of it at least partially based in the show. And again, with like the major plot points, most of it is just like, oh, yeah,
I
I
think
remember when that
Danny's kind of
happened in
the
the show.
same for me. Sorry, you were saying.
But despite those things, um, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to listening to the second book.
Seeing what happens
Um,
next.
yes, I'm very curious.
Because it will start to diverge.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Especially after book one.
nice. Then yeah, that'll be cool.
Because Jane Poole, for example, just straight up isn't really in the show. She's very significant in the books.
Hmm.
There's no young Griff. Um, a lot of the characters are just different. Tyrion, especially. Um, a lot of things happen, even if they happen in both the show and the book, they happen differently. Um, Timeline is different. Almost everyone is younger in the books.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's
well,
another thing. Everyone is like, I'm trying to make everyone slightly younger in my brain.
John's like a 13 or some shit.
It's so weird that they're all babies. Yeah,
Maybe 15. I don't remember.
I think 15,
Yeah.
but maybe not. I don't know. Um, but yeah,
Theon's a complete and utter dickhead.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways,
are you done with your tangent?
no. One more thing. Sansa.
Sansa Stark. Sansa.
I feel so conflicted about her character.
Why? Because she's a white girl doing white girl
No,
things.
she's yes, I guess she's just so like fucking stupid. She does such stupid stuff, or like her character is so different, and maybe I'm sure this is very intentional, but like relative to the rest of her family, she's very at least in the beginning, uh, quite like what's the word? Not meek, but like it is that it? Like it's
You ever been around a 12, 13-year-old white girl?
not in a very long time.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I I'm excited to read about her journey. She's not a disappointing character because she's just the character that she is. But it's like, what the hell is going on? Anyways, we can go back to the segue. Uh
I got a new one.
oh, okay.
Um, let me cook. Let me cook. Let me cook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that just comes with adaptations, especially of like these high fantasy kind of what
No, it's a good segue. Keep going.
adaptations of these fantasy, because George R. R. Martin specifically
Mm-hmm.
wrote the books in a way that they couldn't really be adapted into movies, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, the
Mm-hmm.
timeline of switching back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
and like everything, it's like very. It's not something that could be made into a movie, which is why they made it into a
Right.
show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I don't know. Maybe showrunners for another show could learn a little thing or two from Game of Thrones. Even though they're trying to be Game of Thrones and they are failing.
Are they trying to beat Game of Thrones?
Every show is trying to be Game of Thrones right now. If
Sure.
not in like spirit,
They should try and be Lost.
if not in like theme, at least in uh, cultural zeitgeist and popularity
Right.
and
It's not gonna happen. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
Game of Thrones started on like a dream in $2. Budget was shit. A bunch of child actors nobody fucking knows. And it just be out of nowhere. And again, it's high, it's fantasy, which no one really. It wasn't fantasy was around, very niche though.
Yeah.
Um, Game of Thrones like hopping out of the woodwork and becoming the biggest show known to mankind,
Wild.
just kind of unheard of. Um, I enjoyed Princess Week's video on Hot D. I agreed with most of it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think though, like I don't know. I gotta share the interview I read of George talking about like
I thought we were talking about a different show.
what
We're talking about Hot D.
I just now brought up Hot D because
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's one of the shows that are trying to be Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Continue. Yes. Continue.
The in the interview he talks about the difficulties of adaptation and the amount of freedom and control you have as the progenitor, as the that's not the right word to use there, but as the creator of the work,
Hmm.
and how it can be done very differently because J.K. Rowling was at the helm and no decision was made without her, and the fucking Harry Potter adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
But George is, I think, more hands off
Yeah.
in both Game of Thrones and Hot D. But ultimately, that was his choice. Like, I don't think he was strong armed into being like, you know,
Right.
we're gonna make your work, and you can't do anything about it. Like at the end of the day, it's
Right.
his. So it's like
Yeah.
if you're going to adapt my show, I want this and this and this, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. But again, no one knew Game of Thrones was going to be what it was, so maybe he felt like it wasn't going to get made if he didn't acquiesce.
Mm.
I don't know, but same thing with Hot D. Like I don't know if it's because they already have the rights or whatever, but like
Yeah.
he has a little bit more say now. He's not a showrunner, but he's like a creative director or something like that.
Mm.
Um, but like still, his say isn't final, and it's like why is that? And can you again, if that is a choice that you actively like agreed to, can you really complain about what's happening with the show? I mean, you can always complain, but like
Yeah.
if it was gonna be such a horrid thing, why'd you let it happen?
Well, you didn't know. It was
Fool
gonna
me
be a horror
once,
thing.
shame on you. But
Sure.
teach a man to fool me, and I shall be fooled for the rest of my life.
Sure. Um.
Once, fool me twice, fool me chicken soup with rice.
Right.
And then there's fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, fiddle dee dee.
Oh. Okay.
I think that's all the.
Fiddle
I
dee
think
dee.
that's the extent of that joke in BoJack. But anyway, the other show trying to be. There are other shows trying to be Game of Thrones. We haven't seen all of them, but we have just finished
No.
season 2 of another one.
Yes. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
The Rings of Power. Stupid fucking title.
Say the full title.
It's too dumb to say. I'm not gonna do it.
You can. Or maybe I'll go first because you have more thoughts than I do.
Oh,
Would you like to go first?
doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I just talked for a bunch though.
You want to talk for a bunch some more?
Do you want me to?
Doesn't matter to me. Okay. Um, we're talking too much about talking.
There's no such thing. We could talk all day about talking.
Do you want to?
Um. All right. We're switching it up. We're not talking about Rings of Power. We're talking about talking.
Oh, well, I don't have much to say about talking now. Like, I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
Talking.
Okay.
In this class I'm doing, this ethics class, they
Mm-hmm.
talk about how something about language. I don't remember exactly what they say, but essentially, like language is like fuck. I'm gonna go back and find it because it was very um, interesting, and I think it relates to this new topic we're talking about apparently.
Okay.
It was in week 6, existential freedom.
Mm.
Um, Here it is. Wait, is that it? No. Is this it? Yes. Freedom. Freedom is one of the most challenging topics of this course. As challenging as it is essential to our approach to ethics, and as such, is the basis of self-discovery, self-formation, and the ethical imperative to become who you are. We will study two basic forms of freedom: radical freedom and situated freedom. To illustrate the nature, distinction, and relation between them, let's use an example, that of language and language acquisition. Though we are bound in the first instance of our lived experience to the language or languages that are given to us ambiently at birth, the particular language or languages into which we are born are somewhat arbitrary. That is, there is no universal or absolute language. There are only particular languages, emphasis on the plural, that only linguistically universal or absolute reality. Sorry, I said that sentence wrong. The only linguistically universal or absolute reality is the human capacity or potential for language. Language as a human capacity or potential is something of a linguistically blank slate upon which particular languages come to be inscribed. Nothing other than the familial, social, and cultural circumstances into which we are born determines the actual language or languages we first come to speak. Expressed in terms of actuality, language is always particular and bound to situations and circumstances. Language as capacity or potential, on the other hand, is an indication of our fundamental or radical linguistic freedom. There is another sense in which we are linguistically free. At a certain stage in our lives, we are free to learn new languages and even free to reject the language or languages native to us. This indicates that we are not entirely bound to and determined by our situations or circumstances. It indicates our relative linguistic freedom. So while we are, in the first instance, linguistically formed by others, we have the possibility to form ourselves linguistically. That's all.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
As you were reading that, that reminded me of a conversation I had with my coworker, co-teacher. Um, well, it was multiple instances where she kept. I don't know what was on her mind. I don't. I don't quite understand her quite yet. But she kept asking like why certain things were called what they were.
Mm-hmm.
Like all throughout the day. And like asking me what would I call this if I didn't have a name for it. And I at first I was like, I don't know that we can create a name because we're both within the confines of the language that we already know, you know, um, or like create something that sounds like so incredibly different and
Alien.
um, right. Um, And then after I attempted, but like I thought it was so funny that she kept asking, like, why do we call green beans? Like I wasn't there when they coined the term, but I love that you're asking that question. Um, and she doesn't ask questions like that. I don't language was on her mind today as well, I guess.
I had an ex who was like that.
Mm.
I'm very much curious about that. Why do we call these things what we call these things? Like, I mean, we can get into it if you want to. Like, the distillation of language from these different languages and
I,
the
I like she was asking and I was like, fuck, I should have went to school for linguistics because I do want to know. I do want to be able to like it's one of the most interesting things. Linguistics, language.
yeah.
Uh
I'm a languager.
it's so cool. It's so fucking cool. Um why did you find that particular bit interesting?
I like the part that where they talk about how language just the potential for language itself is uniquely human, but no language is like there is
Mm-hmm.
no main language. There's no
Right.
and every day we create language. It
We
shifts and
really,
it changes and
yeah. Yeah, that made me think about, like, I've told you before, maybe I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but me and my friends making that sign language up in, like, the fourth grade or whatever. And how
Mhm.
many kids probably have languages? How many people have just, like, made up languages? And how that is not, and there's still, like, things that we alter and change within well-known languages, but then there are just, like, languages, like, entirely made up. um hey, we are getting pretty close there.
To what?
The camera.
What camera? You gotta start prioritizing these video these video watches.
I'm on a video call with you, though. I'm looking at you. I'm
Are
responding
you
to
though?
what you're doing in the screen. I am. um
I
See,
what?
I was saying something and I lost my train of thought because you wanted to get all in the camera.
I thought you were just gonna keep talking. Sorry, go ahead. You were talking about the languages and how many languages are out there. That some are probably even lost because all these kids are making up languages and shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. I don't think mine was so structured as a kid. It wasn't that like I assigned things words and created a language. It was more just that like I would speak gibberish, but I was trying to say things, but
Yeah.
just saying what I thought I should say instead of what the word was. I guess
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we can talk about Rings of Power. I guess we should.
Yeah.
It's probably in the title, and
Maybe
we've
not.
set it up
Maybe
so
not.
much at this point. Like
We don't have to talk about it though. Um,
can we
but we
just put it in the
can.
title and not say anything about it?
Well, we said it in the episode, so, like, I feel like it can go in the title. Yeah.
Rings of Power discussion.
um. Okay. My thoughts about Rings of Power. Um. I don't have many thoughts, honestly. I thought the first
Thanks
season
for
was
listening,
cool.
guys. Oh, sorry.
I thought the first season was cool. Um. I will say a large part of why I even got through the first season as quickly as I did was one, I had a bunch of time off because of the hurricane, and two, motivated by Lindsay Ellis' video essay. I love to watch a video essay. I thought it was more relevant than it ended up being to watch the video essay, but it
I
did motivate me.
Can I explain what happened there?
Sure.
I was like, we should watch this video essay. Um, she's like, all right, cool. And Lindsay Ellis starts out a little bit discussing Rings of Power, and she's like, I don't want to watch this. I was like, oh, but she barely talks about it. Like, it's fine. She doesn't spoil anything. And she's like, yep, I don't want to. I don't want anything though. I want to watch it first. I was like, oh, okay. So then we watched the first season, and then we watched the video essay, and at the end, she's like, that wasn't about Rings of Power at all. And I'm like, yeah.
I don't know how to listen. I can't do it.
It's like, oh, you think? Yeah, no, I'm aware.
I didn't need to watch the whole season to. But I finished this first season, and it took me a while to finish the first season. I brought that up because I don't know. I definitely was more interested by the end of the season, but it really took me a while to get into it.
Mm.
Um, but I liked how they set things up for the second season. I was interested in the things that had been set up.
Mm.
Um, for the most part.
Mm.
The second season was a large issue that I found as I was watching the second season is that it was very like heavy-handed. Um,
Can I say one thing? Hold your
it's
thought. Just
what's
about the
up?
language thing. An aspect I didn't highlight is that I feel like, again, why that prompt was so interesting to me is that it almost makes it seem like language will develop regardless of if there's a language there or not. Like if we were just like if
Yeah,
people are put together with no previous language, they're gonna make one. A language will
yeah.
develop,
I think
even
it's
if it's
full.
not like
Yes,
words. Like
right.
language will happen. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
I want. I can't, still on language.
Okay.
There's this book. It's called The Dumb House, and it's like a freaky, like slow burn horror book. It's short, but it's like a horror, and it's about this father who raises children without ever talking to them and without ever exposing them to language and seeing what happens. And I don't remember what actually happens within the book. I think it gets like kind of confusing and loses the plot a little towards the end. But an interesting concept nonetheless. Uh, Absolutely, I'm pretty sure that's not ethical, but um, I think the idea that it would develop inherently, I could see that. I think I believe that.
Mm,
Yeah, I keep wanting to reread that book to see if maybe I would appreciate it more or less, maybe.
sure.
Because I read it mm, when I was in like college, so it's been a
Mm.
hot minute. But anyways, back to Rings of Power.
Okay, I was gonna ask another question, but yeah, we can get back to Rings of Power.
Oh, well, no. What was your question? Ask.
I don't want you to forget what you were in the middle of a sentence and I cut you off. So at least
It's on my
finish what
phone.
you
I'm gonna have to re-find it anyways.
I still have it.
What's the question?
No, I still have where you were left off.
Well, then ask the question and then give me where I left off.
But what if I then forget because we get into this whole other conversation?
Okay, remind me of where I left off so I can hold on to it.
You were talking about how you at first weren't really that excited for season one, and then as it continued on, it was like ramping up. You're getting more interested.
That's not even where I left off. You were so far behind because
Am
you
I?
were thinking about language. Yes, I was already talking about season two.
Oh, you know, I do remember that. Sorry. See, I remember that. I just forgot that's where you left off.
Well, I remember, so you can ask the question.
Um, I saw someone else ask this, so I thought I'd ask you. Um, are you guided more by ethics or morality?
Morality, I think. I thought ethics. Well, I don't know. Your ethics class seems really in depth. Maybe I have a limited understanding of what ethics is.
I think my
What
ethics
is
class,
ethics?
again, not really my class, but I think this ethics class is just different, to be honest.
It might be different.
I
Um,
shit built different.
cause well, okay. So what is ethics?
Well, what they're saying in the class essentially is that ethics is essential is more or less how can I explain? Because they were like, there's two ways to understand ethics. The one way is like understanding how one should act in a hypothetical situation, like the correct the right and wrong ways to do things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, but true ethics lies in immediate personal situations.
Okay, so what is morality?
Morality is like a here. Let's look it up. Ethics v morality. You want to do it or should I do it? I feel like I'm talking a lot this episode.
Can you do it?
I can, and I will.
Yeah, thanks. I don't feel like you're talking a lot. I feel like you're talking the same amount you always talk.
What do you know?
You kind of talk a lot, but like it's your normal amount.
Ethics and
It's
morality are what?
nothing. Go ahead. Go. Go. Go.
What did you say?
I said it's not a bad thing.
Huh?
Yeah.
You don't want me to know that? You wanted me to think it was a bad thing for the rest of the.
No, I just didn't think. I think you already knew it wasn't a bad thing and that it wasn't worth repeating. And that we should move on.
You're not allowed to do that. I'm at my new job. There's like a little thing for deaf people, and the correct way to like talk to them and stuff. And one of the don'ts they say is say that something isn't worth repeating. Now I know I'm not deaf,
I'm the one with the hearing impairment right now. I
and I
can.
repeat for you all the time. Ethics is a brand of philosophy that provides a framework for making decisions and evaluating actions. It's concerned with moral principles, values, and rules that guide behavior. Morality is a subjective concept that focuses on what moral obligations people have. Here are some examples. Ethical standards include honesty, compassion, and loyalty. Moral examples include being polite, having empathy, and treating others as you want to be treated. Uh,
What?
Ethics are the standards of a community or social setting. Morality is often thought as something that's personal and normative. There's like a little Venn diagram here. On the ethics side, we have external rules, may vary between environments. On the moral side, we have personal principles, rarely change. In the
Mm.
middle, we have right and wrong conduct. So they both deal with how you act, but it seems ethics is dependent upon environment and like social things,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
morality is more like an internal uh, judgment.
Mm.
Ethics, study of moral behavior and defining what is right and wrong in an individual's behavior. Ethics are uniform, may derive from
Morality.
huh?
My answer.
Morality, you think?
Yeah, I was trying to think about like different instances. And I definitely like I was trying to parse out certain distinctions because like I move different in different spaces based on who I'm around. But in terms of like right and wrong and what I believe to be right and wrong, that doesn't change based on who's around or like where I'm at. Um Again, if I'm understanding ethics versus
I'm gonna read
moral.
this last little thing and then I don't
Okay.
know. So, okay, so ethics is the study of moral behavior and defining what is right and wrong in an individual's behavior. Ethics are uniform. Ethics may derive from cultural, religious, philosophical, or legal sources. Ethics determines the extent of rightness or wrongness.
Okay.
Wait, the other one is values? I thought we were talking about morals. Values, beliefs and principles that individuals or groups consider important and desirable. Values differ from person to person. Yeah, this is wrong. Sorry, I was just trying to look for morality.
Yeah.
This one says ethics versus morals, and one is like in blue and the other is in green, but I can't tell which is which. Okay, ethics is blue, morals is green.
Okay.
The colors are way too close to each other. I don't know why they did that. I'm gonna send you a picture.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just want people to be confused, I guess.
Yeah. It's a
The
thin
left
line.
side is ethics, the right side is morals.
Okay.
Ethics, guiding principles of conduct of an individual or group. Morals, principles on which one's judgment of right and wrong are based. Ethics, influenced by profession, field, organization, etc. Morals, influenced by society, culture, and religion. Ethics, related to professional work. Okay. Morals, not related to professional work. Ethics, uniform compared to morals. Morals vary according to different cultures and religions.
It's still a blurry thing for me.
I'm gonna try and like coalesce it for you, see if I can bring it all together. Okay, let's use the example of eating meat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Depending on what culture you're in, eating meat may either be moral or immoral,
Mm-hmm.
right? Some cultures don't eat pig, some
Mm-hmm.
cultures don't eat uh, cow, some cultures don't eat any meat. But whether or not meat should be eaten can also be an ethical concern. Talking about the killing of animals, the effect on the environment, etc., etc. That's more ethical. Ethical is like broad picture. Should this thing be done? Moral is more like, is it my belief to do it?
It may be ethical.
You
I
think
don't.
it's ethical than moral?
I would. I would. Based on that explanation, yes.
Hmm. I think I'm also more ethical, but I also think a lot of things in ethics aren't decided. Like, for instance, eating meat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a clear cut ethical answer for that.
Sure. Right. But I guess like in terms of like how I approach a decision,
You think
what I
ethically, not morally.
yeah what I consider and where those considerations are coming from.
Yeah,
Um, Not to say that my morals aren't also at work there, but
But it
I
feels like
guess.
morals can be a lot more, like, since it's so personal, it's up to, like, it's dangerous to rely so heavily on morals, I think.
Sure. Right.
We can justify anything. I think that's why ethics are important. But what the ethics class is trying to say is that I think it still agrees with that understanding of ethics, but it deals more with like personal day to day things
Hmm.
and how we treat others, etc.
Yeah.
Which feels like the Ori book. I like the
Hmm.
class; it's interesting.
It sounds like you like the class. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Or that you're finding it interesting.
Yeah, it's the first class so far. I felt like I'm actually learning something.
Yeah. Nice.
But work. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Rings of Power.
Season 2 is dramatic as fuck.
Yes, heavy
Um,
handed. You said.
Heavy-handed. I can't remember like specific things, unfortunately, but yeah, just throughout the episodes, it was just like, okay. Um, it was. Was it this show where I commented that they said something that they didn't need to say?
Yes.
Something, yeah. It's just like little stuff where it's like unnecessary exposition, or maybe like the music felt just like too much, or it felt too like perfect. A lot of it felt too like perfect, or too perfectly imperfect. Like some shit just felt too like, this is so stupid. No one in their right mind would do this outside of a plot driven
I
thing.
predict there will be one ring that will destroy you, and it will be carried by a hobbit named Frodo, and you won't even see him coming, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You in this line, bro. It's driving Obi insane. Um, yeah, it also like, I don't know. Maybe it's actually no. I was gonna say maybe it's just like the, or maybe it is. I, I'm getting conflicted. So I was gonna say visually, I found it less interesting as well, or not as nice, pretty, cool, whatever. I was like, maybe that's just because I had at that point seen so much of it, and the appeal or like the shininess had like rubbed off, kind of. Um, but I think maybe it did visually look the same, but again, because everything felt so heavy handed, the visuals then also felt like too much at times. I What did I enjoy? Let me focus on what I enjoyed. Um, what happened in that show again? Um,
Oh boy, some stuff, I'll tell you that.
I fucking loved Elrond. Elrond. Um, I loved his integrity. Um, Also, I think he's a cute actor. Um, I really love Elrond and Prince Durin's relationship. Thought it was sweet. I really enjoyed it. That was my favorite relationship. Second favorite, Prince Durin and Disa, his wife, Princess Disa. Um, I just fuck with the dwarves heavy. Um, so I enjoyed the relationship parts of that stuff, or those storylines. Um, I like the cool elf, the black guy. Still don't know his name.
He's the cool elf.
I fuck with
And he
him.
died until he didn't die.
Right.
Then he got slayed, and then was like, "Psych!" That
He's perfectly
that
fine.
scene happened. I got
Yeah.
that dog in me. I simply got up.
Um. Yes, he simply got up. Easy.
Top sword anyway. Like you can do whatever you want on this show. I can get up. I don't
Yes.
care.
Um. It was all just fine. It was mostly just fine for me. Um. I felt, and you brought certain things up here and there, or like I could tell that things were off, especially as when we watched the last episode. But like, we'll get there. It felt like this is a okay show. This is cool or whatever. But like, this feels very different from Lord of the Rings, and so I can't imagine how different it is, even still, from the original media. Um, but because I know so little about all of it, and even from Lord of the Rings, I have yet to store that in my long term memory. Um, it's like, okay, this is fine. We keep going. Um, I know some of this stuff. Uh, but yeah, that's all I really have to say. I think for now.
I talked about season 1 on the Spectre of Anti-Blackness.
Go check it out.
Um, so I won't super rehash, but I followed along. You know, I'm very middle of the line in terms of knowledge. Um, 50 percentile. I know a lot more than someone like Jalen. Uh, but someone like, my cousin knows way more than me.
Mm-hmm.
In season 1, I was I was excited. I had hopes. I was like, I think good. I think could be good. I started invested. You know, it was nice being a middle of the line knowledge person about the content, about the media, to be like, okay, oh, it's Galadriel. Oh, look, it's Elrond.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these guys are gonna be hobbits. Oh, look, it's Numenor. Like, all that stuff. It's like, oh, okay, that's fun. Where are they gonna take this? Um, and as the show progressed, there were even times watching it where I was like, okay, I'm interested to see what happens next. Where are they gonna take this?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's mystery boxy, but I'm rolling with it.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, that's okay. Um, and that's how season 1 went. I thought it was fine. Season 2 did feel very heavy-handed. I agree with that. Um, I'm as we're coming to not conclusions, but as we're like coming to some conclusions and some plot lines are continuing, more things are happening. I think as my knowledge grows around the things that are happening, I'm like, hold up, like, oh, this is weird. Like, no, I don't know. It's not great. Um, this whole Dark Wizard thing feels fucking dumb, especially if it's Sauron. I'm hoping
Yeah.
it's Saruman. If it's
It'd be
Saruman,
cool if it wasn't.
there are two other blue wizards.
Yeah,
Who
I'm
it
down
could
for
be.
that.
But why are we already having wizards being corrupted? Like I don't. It feels a little early for that.
Hmm.
It's hella early for the Balrog. The Balrog is like fucking me up. Um,
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
because Khazad-dûm is supposed to be like prospering for thousands more years. Um, the Balrog is up now, like thousands of years early. If it went back to sleep, what I said yesterday to MJ was that like not only do y'all know it's here, it knows you're here.
Yeah.
But sure, let's just say that little rock slide, that little cave collapse, cut them off from it for now. Who in their right fucking mind stays in that mountain?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, there's Balrog in here, but all right, we're fine. We'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Dig around him. Easy.
Yeah, well, we'll dig around them. Um, it doesn't make any sense for any dwarf kingdoms to take any rings at this point,
Yeah.
considering
I
the
thought they had taken them, but
huge fucking descent that King Durin does and fucking dies at the end of it, and everyone
yeah.
else is just like, yeah, I'll take one. Yeah, that seems smart. The justification they try to give it in the show is everyone already paid their dues, so now they're expecting to collect. Give them their dues back.
Yeah, give them their shit back. Give them something else, but to give them the rings,
You're literally telling them all, go fuck yourselves. You're gonna die.
y'all can go straight to hell. That's you're sending them straight to hell. Like, like that's the opposite of paying their fucking dues, man.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Um, I liked what they were trying to do with Celebrimbor and Sauron. I liked Sauron here because he was deceptive as fuck, and the way he was pulling the
Sauron.
strings and
I like
deceiving
Sauron.
everyone. Yeah, it was good. I thought they did that well. In the end, though, with Celebrimbor, it was just kind of weird. Like it seemed like at a point they're like, okay, we need him to be a martyr, so like
Hmm.
Sauron's influence just doesn't affect him anymore. Like
Yeah,
someone's like, do this for me. He's like, nah, I'm good. Like, um, is that how it works? I mean,
I don't know.
and then we got to get to the prophecy Celebrimbor gives before he dies. Fucking Jesus Christ. Um, he's like, you fool, you're the Lord of the Rings, but these rings will destruction.
Cool.
I predict one ring will bring it. One single ring will bring your downfall.
Mhm.
Um, this ring isn't even in existence yet, guys. Um,
Well, maybe he knew. Okay, so devil's advocate. So
that wasn't need an advocate, but continue.
7 for the dwarves, 9 for the humans, 3 for the elves, and he's like 1 for Sauron. Duh.
It would be different if he was like, you know, that's not what the ring is. So essentially, what they're trying to say in the show is that he's like, yeah, I know you're gonna try and make a ring for yourself because like you need these rings, you want them to be the power in the world, but like since you need me for that, and since you don't have me, it's gonna fail. But the ring doesn't fail; it fucking works. It doesn't fail. The ring, it never fails. It does exactly what's supposed to. It's like
It's the thing that, oh, you're gonna fail? I thought the thing was that, not that the rings wouldn't work, but that the rings would inherently be his downfall just because of the nature of what he is and what he's trying to do with the rings. And the one ring. You see
no.
what I'm saying?
I don't agree. And again, maybe I need to fucking read the books or something, but I don't agree. The whole thing is that why Frodo and company were able to succeed is because Sauron couldn't fathom anyone trying to destroy the rings. Because most people didn't. Isildur, for example. But he took it because it was powerful. And he's like, we could use this. And most people with the ring would decide to do that. Um, and it corrupts most people who have it. There's certain beings kind of resilient to it and stuff, especially like it corrupts based on your power level essentially, which is why Gandalf is like, I can't fucking touch that thing because I'd go sicko mode on y'all. But like,
That'll be fun.
the hobbits being so little and so out of the way, that contributes to them being able to like go on their merry little quest.
That's nice.
Yeah, and I like that much better than like, oh, it was just prophesized to happen. Like eventually, someone was gonna, like, I don't know.
Well, why is it? Why does the notion of a prophecy cheapen the thing? Like,
It's not necessarily that there's a prophecy around it. I think just the way it came, who it was coming from at the time. Again, just very heavy-handed, ham-fisted, just like,
sure.
well, with my dying words, I curse you to be destroyed by one ring. Like,
You have to get one off before he died.
Like, I didn't like that at all, but I didn't like most of the last episode.
Yeah, he was groaning all throughout that episode, y'all. It wasn't a good last episode. It wasn't a good.
There's Galadriel has this fight with Sauron.
Bro, she should have died.
Yeah, she just falls off a cliff like 500 feet at the end of it, and she's kind of just.
She's chilling.
Cool.
She's fine.
She's like, my stab wound.
Shut up!
Please. Cut enough, Galadriel. Cut it out.
Yeah.
He turns to Halbrand, and that like deters her for a second, but like it's the same fucking face. It's not even like it's
the same dude. Like
he took the wig off, and that's enough for you. Like,
I understand when like if it had gone straight to like someone else, or when he turned into her.
Right.
She was down bad for him with the brown hair. She was.
Because she's used to elves or something. I don't know. Well, they have dark hair sometimes. I don't know. People dying but not dying. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like they have the crown in the end, and it's like, oh, this is the same crown that killed him in the beginning, so maybe Galadriel could use it to kill him. And Adar, all the orcs stabbed Sauron in the beginning, and now he gets stabbed by all the orcs. Like, oh, it's like poetry. It's all happening. Like, fuck all the way off. Just like,
yeah,
it's gross.
Too much.
Gandalf reveal. I didn't enjoy. Everyone knew it was fucking Gandalf.
We all knew it was Gandalf, and I wasn't as upset with it off rip after we finished the episode. But then you sent that one article, and I was like, "Fuck, you're right." It's just like
there's like we gotta do Gandalf.
Cool. Nah.
Gandalf here. What if Gandalf was around 2,000 years too early? Like, yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, if you truly, because in the article it's like, well, he's the most beloved character, and it's like, even if so, fine. It's not just
make a new beloved character. Well, how do you think he got beloved?
Character, like, you're making it a different piece of work. Think for your fucking self, bitch. 2, like, if you care about the audience, and all the people that love this work, these works, like, to just like obliterate the timeline, it's like not to be crass, but like fucking someone versus like making love. Like, if you don't like, put in some fucking like you gotta like
Effort, some
don't
time, some like.
effort, some time, some care.
Don't just throw money at it and fuck it and throw it away.
Like ew. You know, that's what it's feeling like.
That's exactly what it is. What a beautiful analogy. Amazon's fucking it right in front of us
Yeah.
and wants us to watch.
Mm.
Um, the kiss. Okay, so here's what happened. We're watching. We watched this separately. We watched this episode separately. But I was watching, and I was caged up. Aaron walks up to her. He touches her face. I'm like, okay, that's a little like that's. She's about to die. So like, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, they're really close friends.
They're close friends. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would touch.
She kind of like and leans into it. I'm like, okay, that was weird. But again, they're close friends. She's about to die. She probably hasn't had like nice physical touch in a while,
Yeah, and this is the touch of the person that she loves right before she dies. Like, okay,
right, and it's like, okay, and then they kiss. Since
when did y'all kiss? When did y'all start doing that? Fucking random. So fucking random.
Like, okay, I guess.
No.
Again, I'm not like hella familiar with the source material, so I can't be like, how dare
maybe
this
they
happen?
do.
But like, no, this feels very wrong. This feels wrong.
I think too because there wasn't really my understanding this entire time, based on the vibes and the scenes that they have together, is just like they're homies. They've been homies. They're old chums. They have tiffs here and there. They disagree about things, but they're locked in. They care about each other deeply. They care about others deeply. They're trying to do the best they can. They're homies.
And I guess the kiss is like to distract from him giving her the thing, but that could have been done in so many other ways.
I guess, yeah.
You could have just like held her hands and kissed her hands, like.
It was just
I don't know.
jarring to see. I'll just say that.
It was jarring.
Yeah.
My reaction was very funny, but no one saw it.
I didn't see it.
It's okay.
I texted you as it happened for me.
Yeah, and I was kind of just like.
Nice. What else?
What else was I going to talk about? The action being weird.
Sure.
I don't know.
You said it was slow and something else.
There was no impact to the fight. It was very just like didn't look like anyone was hitting anyone, and it was very slow moving. It's kind of just like weird. I don't know. Fake out deaths aren't cool. Wasn't none of that. I don't know.
That was lame.
There was something else I had. I don't remember though.
Did
I think it's kind of funny. Huh?
Did anyone die? No one died, right? Of the main cast, I guess.
Don't think so. Oh, yeah, our black guy in Numenor.
Oh, yeah.
And then they almost killed the other black guy, but then like, oh wait, we can't do that. I guess we gotta have him stay alive.
The Numenor daughter, bro. It's like the same shit as fucking Sansa. It's different, but like
it's worse.
These. Huh?
I said it's so worse.
It is worse, but it's just like it's definitely worse. Sansa, it's different. But like, I don't understand having someone be so dumb.
And Sansa's a kid. She's naive, and
You
she's like been raised on like these fairy tale stories of knights and princesses.
Yeah, she's trying to live a very specific life with what's his name.
Yeah.
Um, but
Like
like,
even the thing with the direwolf, you know, Ned was like, yeah, she kind of did what she was supposed to, more or less.
hmm
She can't just call the prince a liar.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that goes into the white women of Westeros, which is a whole topic. Uh, even into Hot D with the two
yeah,
brands of white feminism.
yeah.
But I don't remember what the other thing I was going to say about Rings of Power is. But I will say it's funny how Isildur, um, the girl jumped him,
hmm
um, and then like a scene later, these bandits do the same fucking exact thing to him, the same thing, hiding in the cart, and like he doesn't put two and two together. Like, oh, maybe she's with them. Like that just didn't
Yeah,
occur. Same fucking strategy. All right, whatever. Um, yeah, did not like the show. So I was fine until the last episode, which reminds me of another show we just watched.
sure.
Even though we're over our 90-minute runtime, we're not a Disney movie anymore.
We're not Disney. Yeah. What show did we just watch?
Let's watch a Disney Channel movie. Doctor Who.
We did watch Doctor Who. Oh, another not great last episode.
I enjoyed the rest of the season for this one though. I thought it was a really
I thought it was a good season. I agree. That last
even
episode though was such a bummer.
even the penultimate episode that was leading into the final
Yeah,
episode, the
it
part one
was
of part two.
good.
I was
I
like,
was into it.
where are we going with
And then
this?
they really just like fumbled.
They
They really
fumbled really
fumbled.
hard.
Yeah.
I like the new
Almost
Doctor
hurt.
though. I really enjoyed the what was that episode called? 73 yards or something.
Probably meters because they're in Europe or something.
73 meters, love.
Maybe
73
it is
meters.
yards. I don't know. Um, yeah, that one's a cool one.
I enjoyed that the Doctor finally faced racism, but I felt like it was way too self-contained,
Yeah.
and like it could have been attributed to different things. Because at first I didn't even really see it as racism. I thought it was like more of a class thing. Um,
Nah, it was you. I feel like you jumped to classism quicker than races. No, I don't know if that's true. Um, but it felt very obviously racist to me. Very obviously.
I
Um,
think because it could have been a mix of both. Because it's a bunch of rich white preppy kids on their own like planet, so they're like, oh, we don't want to mix with anyone outside of our bubble. Um,
well, I guess at first when they were like on the calls, the video call thing, sure, that just read as classism because they were all speaking. They were both speaking to, or they were all speaking to both him and what's her face, Ruby.
mhm.
Um, and very obviously like calling them fucking idiot bitches, like they're your stupid motherfuckers. Get off our screens. Uh, um, classes. Uh, but by the time they were like all physically in the same space together, it was like, oh,
I
yeah,
feel like I really want to get into it because they get just kind of feel like immoral assholes, but it wasn't like a structural societal thing. Like the fucking movie star, hot guy, cool guy that she just murdered because she's like, oh, I want to survive. Sorry,
yeah,
um, got him killed. But then the very next episode, we go to the past, and
Yeah,
there's
I just
nothing. It's just, if we're gonna get into it, let's get into it. The doctor should be like, "What the fuck?
right.
Why?
Like, what
Why
is
am
the
I
what
going
is
to
the
the
point
past?"
of a singular episode, and then to like the the weight of it isn't really felt until the very last scene, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's not really like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
until the very last scene. Um, and yeah, it's like if we're gonna, he, the doctor's black. Like we can talk about it. It's okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Niggas should not be listening to him before the 1800s.
Yeah,
They should be like, "Who the fuck?"
it should be a lot more difficult. Yeah.
Especially
Um,
because it's such a Eurocentric show. Like this nigga
right,
don't go to Africa.
right. Yeah.
He frequents Europe and London so much, and Germany, and like all these different places. Like that's fine, but like, because we had that episode, when Martha first came around, and she's like, "Is it going to be an issue because I'm black?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, just blend in." And it was felt like it's easy for him to say that because of who he is as a white man. But now you're not. Is this not going to be an issue? And the point you brought up was like, oh, maybe he was saying it's like a TARDIS filter thing. But then I brought up how there are many times in Martha's season where, like, not only is her race questioned, but her gender and her occupation as, like, a black woman doctor. And people are like,
okay.
you can't do that. What?
Is it a? I mean, I guess it's not because again, they touch on it in this singular episode. You've already touched on it, so you can't.
Right.
But I guess I if that hadn't happened, not maybe not just a TARDIS thing, but like a doctor thing.
Mm.
Maybe a mixture of both. But like he has this not shield, but
Or,
aura. He has aura. And so is able to move through these.
aura to him.
So he's able to move through these situations with ease, but no. So I don't know.
Yeah. Fumbled. That's not why the last episode was bad, but
No.
very, very many reasons. It's so anticlimactic. You can't build up. This is the first
Dumb as shit. Oh.
even in the bad seasons of Doctor Who, like the through line for the episodes has always had like at least a kind of satisfying
Good payoff. Yeah.
like, okay, oh, that all connects. And now it's just like she's special because we thought she was special. What? No,
She's special because
we thought she was special because you told us she was.
she's special because everybody's special. Don't you see?
What about the snow and the fucking?
So fucking lame, man.
Yeah.
I will say though, even her through line did not feel as compelling or interesting as other through lines have felt.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they never had much to work with.
There was Dr. Donna. There was the crack in the wall.
Love the crack in the wall. The crack in the wall was like shit.
There was Souffle Girl. I know you don't remember that one, but Clara kept dying and appearing in different places, and he's like,
Sure.
"What the fuck?
Yeah.
How are you still like? How are you her? What's going on?" There was him dying.
Yeah.
Getting shot by River.
Yeah. Damn.
And a lot of that is in the Moffat area, and I don't really like Stephen Moffat or his episodes or his characters. So I'm glad that or his characterization, but I'm glad that that Davies is back. Russell T Davies is back running the show.
Yeah.
But I need more than this.
Yeah.
Gotta step it up, Davies.
It I think there's many good episodes to come.
Yeah. Hope we stick with him for a while. We need
Yeah, me
Tenet.
too.
We need Tenet hours, Tenet seasons.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm excited for more.
Yeah, I'm assuming there'll be a Christmas special.
Oh yeah, Christmas special.
I was saying how I was not upset, but I was saying how I was viewing the characters' sexuality in this season as like this new step in like the Doctor as a complete being. I think he's been
Mhm.
like a man and a woman and all this kind of stuff, and I thought he was kind of just like in a state of being like just pan, like love is love, whatever's whatever. The gender thing doesn't really matter, but I it seems more that he's just kind of gay.
He
Uh,
could still be Pan, but just lean more towards guys at this time.
sure, it's possible.
Because he
Um,
definitely feels fluid. He's the doctor. The doctor kind of feels fluid all the time.
Now the Doctor feels fluid, but why it came up for me now is
Mm.
because the Doctor did not used to be fluid, but
Mm.
like after being what's her face and the whole thing with the flux, like and then we had the special episodes with Donna. What they
Yeah.
were saying is like Doctor, you've been through a lot of trauma. You need to rest and relax, and like
Yeah, 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 I remember.
you're always fighting. Like you need to like calm down and like then he got split, and there's like this new healthy version of him that's like, I'm gonna go out and do the adventuring. You stay home and relax. And then the first episode, he's like dance at the club and stuff. I'm like, he's so free and expressive, and that's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. And I
Yeah.
thought that's just like, I think it being specifically gay, while that isn't an issue in any sense, it feels like a different kind of characterization.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I would agree.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Um, And it could be possible that he is pan, but he's definitely only really shown interest in men so far.
Yeah.
Um, but it is what it is. It'd be like that sometimes.
Mm.
I think our next doctor might finally be Ginger.
What?
Might be Ginger.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I mean, he's been everything but. He's been wanting to be Ginger for so long.
Oh,
Maybe
sure.
maybe he'll finally get it.
Okay. I forgot
I
that
want,
that
I want
was
to
his
stick with
name.
this guy for a while though.
Yeah. I like this actor. I don't know
I
his
like him
name,
too.
but I really like him.
He's cool. He's cool.
He's cool. He's beautiful. Very handsome man.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he is. Who do you think we'll get as the next companion?
I don't
Any,
know.
not like specific person, but like archetype, race, gender, anything. Not like
Um,
what actor do you think they're sending out there?
what the hell kind of question? Uh, I could see it being, I don't know, maybe a guy. Because they hinted at that one guy coming along for the ride, but then he obliterated himself or whatever, set himself to the
They do
wall.
that a lot. They did that with Tennant too.
Mm.
Remember that girl in the Titanic?
Yeah. Um.
He's always like, "Wait right here, I'll be back." He was gonna travel with Marie Antoinette, wasn't he? Like there was a couple of different times. She's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah."
Um.
That episode was so weird.
Maybe. Maybe a guy. Maybe. I would like for it to be a person of color or a black person. I would like to maybe travel with less white women. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Uh.
They can't give us a black one.
Mm.
No one's gonna watch the show.
Bro.
They're gonna be like, Doctor Who's officially black.
This is an Afrocentric show. I'm not
Put
watching.
on BET, not on BBC. I can hear it now.
Jesus.
She's gonna walk up to the TARDIS. What's Doctor? And they're gonna like dap up
Oh
and
my
like.
god. Ugh.
They're gonna visit inner cities.
Not inner city. um.
They're gonna go to a Harriet Tubman timeline.
Okay. It's the black season. I think it would just be nice. They don't have to make it weird. It'd be nice.
They don't know how to not make it weird.
Yeah.
It's just the beauty of something like Atlanta.
Well, then it could be a person of color. Atlanta's so great. It could be a person of color or a guy. It's so many white women. And I feel like they are trying to, I don't want to say diversify, but like, maybe diversify. I don't know. Not so. When I think of the word diversify, I think of like diversity corporation or like corporate diversity board sort of vibe. Not necessarily that, but like, you know, he's like pan gay black guy, effeminate, like
Is he effeminate?
slightly, I would say. But so yeah, I could see it being someone that isn't a white woman. I feel like it'll the safest decision or choice would be a white man. Again, like how they were about to do with this one guy. I could see that, but outside of that,
It would be tough for him to be attracted to him, though. I don't want to have another fucking Tenant Rose season.
yeah,
That shit was bad.
it was a train wreck.
It's really bad. They're like going on dates and like.
Wow.
It was so gay. They were so gay for each other. They were so gay for each other.
They were.
Can y'all fucking get a room? Like,
Get out of here.
people ate that shit up though. And then it was 11 and Clara.
I never liked Clara. So.
I like Clara.
I know you do. I wasn't fucking with her. I liked 11 though.
I like 12.
Which one's 12?
Peter Capaldi.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was so good. He was so great.
I think it's new guy
cool.
My favorite now, but Peter Capaldi was definitely.
He was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have given him more. I wish we would have got him during like the rough days. Because Moffat really only has like 3 different ideas about like themes and concepts and episodes and stuff, and it just keeps repeating.
How many seasons was Capaldi in? Just one?
too. He ended. He had a season with Clara. Then there was Bill. Remember
Oh
Bill? Bill
yeah,
was
yeah,
and then he might even had one without a companion,
maybe,
or maybe just some specials or something. I don't know, but he had at least two.
maybe, yeah, yeah. More with them would have been nice.
That's all I got.
Me too.
Thank you for listening. Fuck you for watching.
Yeah.
Did we look
Um.
into the YouTube thing yet?
No, I think the only thing that really would work is me video recording.
Uh,
Yeah, OBS recording this, and
sure.
then which is a lot to go back and do.
This doesn't like save a file that you can upload to YouTube. Nothing like that.
Maybe, maybe I can download it, but I
It's
don't know
not
if that might be something that you have to like pay for. It might be a feature or whatever.
They do
But
love
I
making
can
that.
double check. I didn't look. But
Are
anyways,
we haven't uploaded Sims? Are we doing more Sims after this?
we can. I would love to do some more Sims after this. I gotta edit the one this week. We're at every other week right now.
We're at a weird week. What's going on?
Huh?
We're at a weird week. You said. What's going on?
I said every other week because we didn't
We're doing
upload
every other
last.
week now.
That's where we're at right now. Yeah.
No, weekly. Bulk buys.
Then yeah, we can play some tonight.
We're gonna go do that, guys.
Yeah. Come check it out on the channel.
What's our channel called?
OB and Z's.
OBNZs.
Yeah.
It
Um.
comes right up when you search it.
It does. Many things come up, all from us. Watch them if you so desire. If you like Sims and
Just
funny,
Sims for now, but we should play
funny,
some
no,
Overwatch.
and, like funny talk. We
Yeah,
will
if you
play
like us, you should
Overwatch.
check it out. But like, also if you like The Sims.
Yeah, and other games that will definitely be up there at some point. We've tried other games, but there have been hiccups. So
Yeah, that's something to call it.
hiccups. Uh, thanks for listening. Fuck you for watching.
It doesn't have to be your thing too. It can just be my thing.
Okay. I don't want. I take it back, guys. Visual.
I don't. Fuck you for watching. Get off Spotify.
I take it back, but I support him saying it. All right. Peace.